Today is April 20th, 2026, and I'm going to give you a little timeline and update of getting a ring and proposing to Zoe. I first got the idea because Zoe said that she wanted to get proposed right around when we graduate TPT school, and she wants family to be there and have her own moment, involve a hike. So I knew that wouldn't surprise her, so instead I wanted to do it ahead of time to actually surprise her. And I wanted to do it right when I get back from my clinical in Florida in August of 2026. In March, I was looking at Kessler's website and playing around with their customize your own ring feature. I told Zoe to give me tips during lecture one day just for, ideas, and I don't think she was very suspicious. I made an appointment at Kessler's because Dylan recommended it, and I went there on Thursday, March 26th, 2026 at 1:30 because Zoe had her TAC class from 1 to 5, and I did not anymore because I did it in the first half of the semester. So I went while she was at her class. I had a great experience at Kessler's, got a great idea of bands, stones, and pricing. Ryan at Kessler's said he had another band that at another store that we thought Zoe would like better. So we made another appointment for the following Tuesday, March 31st, to come back and look at that one. At this point, I'm finalizing a deal. However, I need to get Zoe's ring size. So I brought it up at home that weekend just because I'm curious. We measured the circumference of her ring finger with a string at home, and it says that she's a size 9, which is way bigger than we thought. So we went to Kohl's to try on rings and look at those sizes, and it said it was 8 or somewhere around an 8, but we weren't sure. So we wanted to go somewhere specific to get it sized. So we went to a jeweler in Waukesha after one of our classes on Tuesday, and it was kind of sketchy. The guy said that it was a 6.5, which is way different. So we thought, man, that really sucks. I'm going to have to go to Kessler's because that's the only one that'll give her the right size for the ring. Problem was we're in the car, and I offer it there, and I needed to get the ring size because I might finalize a deal today on Tuesday. So I tell Zoe that, Dylan recommended Kessler's because his brother went there. So let's just try there, try not to be conspicuous. But I couldn't walk in there and have them recognize me. So I needed them to somehow know, to act like they didn't know me. I couldn't call ahead because Zoe and I were in the car together. So I came up with the idea to act like I'm super cold and needing to pee really badly in the car on the way there so I could bolt inside really quick. So we are driving to Kessler's, we park, I quickly get out and I speed walk into Kessler's ahead of Zoe because I'm cold and I need to pee really badly. And I quickly get inside, I'm about 10 feet in front of her, and I quickly yell at everybody, "You don't know me, I'm new here." I turn around and Zoe walks in 2 seconds later, and a new person introduces himself and acts like we've never been there before. And it was just the greatest surprise ever. I think we were able to hide it pretty well. We looked at some rings and some stones, and he gets our information, just in case, because I told him we're not looking to actually buy anytime soon. Zoe ends up picking out the exact band that the guy from Kessler's brought from the other store for me to look at. That's the one that she wanted. So we're just looking, and we're like, okay, we'll see you later. So we go home. I drop her off back at school so she can go to class. I go right back to Kessler's at 1 o'clock. Everybody's laughing. They congratulate me on the funny occurrence when I get back there. He tells me that the one that she picked out was the one that he brought for us, and I go right in there and I bought it that day. And the best part is I have Kessler's keep it for me until I come back from Florida in August so that Zoe doesn't accidentally find it or I don't lose it. Later that week, I called Sophia from the library, Carol, and she is super excited. She gives me the idea that I have to document all of this so I can show everybody after I propose. So this is why I'm doing this. The following week in April, I talked to Dylan and Trevor to ask how we could do it because they know that I bought it too. Since it'd be nice to do it outside, like on a hike maybe, Dylan said that maybe we can go to Abby's cabin up north because there's nice places up there to go. We talked to Abby, and she says she'll even say the trip is her idea so that there's less suspicion. So we're waiting to get a plan together for that. This past Thursday, April 16th, while Zoe was at TAC again, I went to Kessler's because they had the ring fitted for me. They put the stone in the band so I could check it out. I went and took pictures, and I sent them to Sophia, Dylan, Trevor, a few other people. I'm keeping these pictures in my hidden folder in my camera roll, which I never use, so I don't think Zoe will ever find them. I just had brunch with my dad and Jackie yesterday, which was April 19th. showed them the pictures, told them the whole story. We laughed about it. My dad teared up a little bit, which is pretty cool. Today, 10 minutes ago, Sophia called me on April 20th today. She said that she had intel. She called Zoe. They do a monthly call just to catch up on stuff. And apparently Zoe told her about her visit to Kessler's and how amazing and beautiful the rings were and how she can't wait. But she's upset because she's going to have to wait till next year in April. So she still doesn't know that it's going to be happening. Sophia tells me that Zoe said that she just wants me to put in effort because apparently I'm not romantic. Okay. She's worried she's gonna know when it's happening and she won't be surprised. So Sophia and I were just cracking up this whole time because we know she's gonna be very surprised in August as long as we can keep it a secret. It's gonna be a tough 4 months keeping it a secret, but it's gonna work out pretty well. It is Sunday, April 26th, 2026. Zoe is at work at Walgreens this morning. It's about 10:30 a.m. and I just got done asking Beth and Dan for their blessing to marry Zoe. They both said yes. They're both very excited. I told them the whole story of how I got the ring and how I plan to propose. They're very excited, and now I just need to trust them to keep quiet until that happens. It is Julia and Abby's graduation party, and Zoe still thinks that I am proposing next spring, and it's still happening this fall. Keep in touch. It is Sunday, May 24th, 2026. I just dropped Zoe off at Walgreens at 9 a.m. She's going to work. Last night we were at our friend Abby and Dylan's place for a bonfire with all of our friends. All of our couples were there, and we had a great time. And when the women went in to look at some bunnies inside, the men stayed outside, and we found out that Dylan and Trevor are all busy the weekend that I was planning on doing it up at Dylan or Abby's family's cabin. So we're gonna have to change plans and try to do it a different time. I was hoping to do it on a hike, maybe something like Devil's Lake in August, but the problem is Devil's Lake on a Saturday in August, it's gonna be packed and we're not gonna have a moment to ourselves to do it. So I was talking to Jackson, and maybe there's another place in Port Washington or another state park that we can go. So I'm gonna have to think about where we're gonna go now, but still thinking about stuff. And by the way, Zoe still thinks that it's happening next year. She was disappointed when I told her that I haven't gotten a ring yet, and she said that I should be setting up a payment plan. And I said, honey, I'm going to Florida. There's no point in me getting a ring yet. I already bought it, and I already bought it paid in full. So she still thinks that I'm waiting until next year, and I don't have it yet. So we're still good. It is Tuesday, June 9th. We are in Nashville, Tennessee. Zoe is sleeping. And we just got done eating a smash burger at a bar where we met the bartender, and he asked us about our lives. We said we've been dating for almost 7 years, and he asked if we're getting engaged when we're getting engaged. And Zoe said we're still waiting until we graduate next year, so we're still on. We are in Nashville. We are at a honky tonk. Zoe and I just got done talking about marriage and stuff. She just said that she would be totally okay, and she was actually hoping that I would propose on one of the hikes that we just did in Kentucky and Tennessee. I'm kicking myself because I have the ring at Kessler's in Brookfield, and I didn't bring it because I didn't think she wanted me there. She said she doesn't care if her friends or family are there. She just wanted a special moment with me and her, and I'm kicking myself because I didn't bring the ring. I'll have to do it right when we get back. So it is June 27th, 2026. I'm in Florida for my clinical, and there's a lot to catch up on. So last 2 weeks ago, Zoe and I had the most amazing road trip down to Florida for my clinical. We saw so many state parks in different states, and we had the best time. And like I said in the previous video, Zoe wishes that I proposed to her at one of these places, and I was kicking myself because I didn't bring the ring. Even more so because on the Friday that we got down to Florida, Tony and Michelle took us to the beach, and we watched the sunset on the beach, and he got some great pictures of us, and that would have been the perfect time for me to propose, but I didn't bring the ring. So now I'm trying to think of other opportunities to do it, and I'm racking my brain. I want it to be special with just the two of us, but I also know that she wants us to come back and celebrate with family and friends. There's a lot of options, and she even brought up the fact of maybe doing another road trip on the way back, and then I would have to find a way to do it on the road trip back to Wisconsin if she flew down. But then I'd also need to get somebody like my dad to take the ring from Kessler's and ship it to me in Florida. That would be a hassle, but we could do it, but then we wouldn't be coming straight back to a celebration with our family and friends. There's talks of maybe waiting the week after that we get back, the weekend after, where we go to a state park. I've been racking my brain looking at state parks and looking up best proposal places for state parks. There's Kohler Andre State Park, there's Peninsula State Park, there's Cave Point in Door County, there's Lion Gorge, and I know that she also wants to see Apostle Island. So those are all options. It's just figuring out the logistics of making that happen, and then also coming back to celebrating with family and friends. A lot on my mind to think about, a lot to unpack. All I know is that it's going to be great, it's going to be romantic, and I can't wait. It is Thursday, July 16th, 2026. I finalized the plan for how I'm going to propose. So we're going to pick up Elise and Jackson, and we're going to Lions Gorge Nature Preserve in Mequon. Then we're going to go up towards Sheboygan to Kohler Andre State Park, which has a lot of sand dunes and beaches. And we're going to do it there. Ideally, my plan is to check out the beach and the scene beforehand in the day. We're going to go get a nice dinner, get us dressed up a little bit, and then I'll have either Elise and Jackson suggest that we go to the beach to watch the sunset. And hopefully Zoe will be on board for that, and we'll do it there and propose there. And Elise and Jackson will take pictures and videos. I just told Zoe about this plan, and I had to act like it was just like on a whim, and it was just my off-the-fly idea to go on this trip. And she was totally on board, and I'm so happy. I just wanted to tell her about it to make sure that she marked her calendar for it. And I'm so happy that I thought of this and was able to get her to join in on it. And I think it's going to be great. We're going to have a great time. Elise and Jackson are already on board. I already told her that we're probably going to be coming back on Sunday. And I already confirmed a lot of our friends, like Dylan and Abby, Trevor, some Zoe's parents already confirmed. They're going to tell her family to all be there on Sunday when we come back from our trip. So it's a surprise party with the whole family and friends there. And I just told Zoe about it. She has no idea that we're coming back to a surprise party. She has no idea about the proposal. It's going to be great. We have it planned. We'll update you later. Also, side note, I thought about taking pictures for the proposal, and I think I'm going to have Elise and Jackson take pictures. And I initially had the great idea to do it at sunset. So we'd have the sunset over the water of Lake Michigan and have a great picture of us for the proposal. But then I realized that if you're in Wisconsin and you're facing Lake Michigan, you're facing east, and the sun sets in the west. So the sunset wouldn't sit over the water. However, I also realized that if we did that, I'm gonna use the sunset in the background as an example. If we took pictures like that with the sunset in the background, you can see how there's not a lot of light, and it almost looks like I'm a silhouette. So you wouldn't be able to see Zoe and I really clearly. But if we take it like normal, us on the beach, and with the sun behind Elise and Jackson taking the picture, there's much more light. And you can see, hopefully, the reaction on Zoe's face is gonna be amazing. And you can see those reactions and both of us a lot better. So I think it's gonna end up being a good picture either way.
Today is July 26, 2026. Matt asked and insisted that I be a part of this video, even though I really just wanted to leave this part to him. But Zoe called me yesterday and opened up with, "I am so sick of everybody getting engaged." She then proceeded to have this entire conversation with me about how it seems like everyone is getting engaged, getting married, having babies, buying houses, all the things. And we're just in our hot girl education era right now. She also then told me that she is so ready to be engaged now, but she has to be patient. She said that she's hoping that Matt is saving up for a ring right now in order to make their April 2027 deadline they set previously. She also said that once the proposal planning starts, that I will be the first to know. I've known for months. She also said that Matt's gonna need some validation. So yes, Zoe, I have given him a lot of validation, but he has trusted himself throughout this entire process. He may have asked for an opinion here or there, but every single decision and bit of intention has been his all along since the beginning. This is his plan for you. I am just merely happy to keep this secret and stand slightly behind this moment that's going to mean so much to you guys. I love you both.
It is Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. I'm back from Florida, and I plan on proposing to Zoe this upcoming Saturday, August 22nd, when we go up to the state parks. I have a surprise party planned for Zoe with all of our friends and family to come back to afterwards on Sunday, August 23rd. Hopefully everybody is there by noon, and I plan to postpone leaving the hotel Sunday morning as long as I can to make sure that everybody can get there on time and that we come after noon between 12 and 12:30. I'm currently driving to Kessler's Diamonds in Brookfield to pick up the ring that they've been keeping for me this entire summer. I wanted to make sure that Zoe didn't see where I was going. She's currently working at Selig right now. I just got done working in the athletic training room at Carroll, and I turned my airplane mode on to make sure that she can't see my updated location. And I don't know how to get there by memory, so I turned on maps how to get there, and then I screenshotted the directions. So that's currently what I'm going off of right now. And I'm planning on getting the ring, and if she somehow asks where I was and she sees my location, I plan on telling her that I had a meeting with my other job called Aerotos or Styx at a location right by where the jeweler is. So that is my backup plan in case she finds out. But we're getting the party finalized. I just sent out a group text to all of our friends, families notified to be there on Sunday. All we got to do is hope that the weather is good for a proposal on the beach at Kohler Andre State Park on Saturday. That's all we got to do.
Today is Wednesday, August 19th. I plan on proposing this upcoming Saturday with our surprise party on the Sunday afterwards. I just went to Kessler's and picked up the ring yesterday. I have two different options for box. I have this one, which is your standard box for the ring. Nothing in that one quite yet. Problem is, we're gonna be hiking the entire day on the sand dunes, and I can't hold this around in my pocket, it'd be too visible. So they also had this one. It's about half the size, and I think I could conceal this in my pockets a little bit better, but this is the ring. And this is what I'll be carrying around in my pocket all day. Hopefully she doesn't notice. We plan to do it at sunset on Saturday. We have it all planned out with Elise and Jackson. I think this is it. I'm gonna get my video compiled, and I'm gonna test it on AirPlay at the TV at home so everybody can watch it on Sunday. But I think that's it. So I know that this has been a big surprise. I surprised you with the proposal. I surprised you with the after party. I surprised you with this video. Luckily, that is not over with. We have one more surprise I want to share with you.